Greetings and welcome one and all to another Softball Sunday. That's right, Softball Sunday is the day we do easy songs. And today I humbly present to you the capoed version of Black Magic Woman to minimize or maybe even eliminate bar chords. Plus, I'm going to show you some tasty moves and tricks to spice it up a little bit. Thank you for joining me. The chord progression to Magic Black Woman is D minor, A minor, D minor, G minor, D minor, B flat, A, D minor. Now that's a pretty standard chord progression in the key of D minor, but if we put our capo on the 5th fret and play A minor, for instance, what we're really playing is D minor, but we're still going to call it A minor because we're guitar players and not real musicians, right? Here's our new chord progression. A minor, E minor, back to A minor, and D minor. A minor, F, however you want to play F, and E major, the one with the pointer finger, and resolve to A minor. That's the chord progression. Let's do a strumming pattern, or two. Down, down, up, up, down. Whole time. That's option number one. A minor. E minor. A minor. D minor. Poor D minor, the chord everyone always forgets. E1, G2, B3. Strum 4. Back to A minor. For F and E, just one strum. Cha-cha-cha. Okay, but check this out. If we're on A minor, for instance, we're going to hit the bass note, just the bass note. That's the lowest note in the chord, which brings me to the rule that I call the rule. The amount of strings that you strum is dictated by the bass note of the chord, and if you're playing an E chord of any kind, E, E minor 7, E anything, your bass note is, of course, the open E string, so you'd strum 6. If you're playing an A chord of any kind, A minor, A7, whatever, the bass note is the open A string, so you're going to strum 5 strings. Are you detecting a pattern here? If you're playing a D chord of any kind, for instance D minor, our bass note is the open D string. So the bass note matches up with the string that's the name of the chord if it's an E, an A, or a D. And if it's anything else, your bass note is the biggest string with a finger on it. So for G, you obviously wouldn't be putting your finger there if you weren't going to play 6 strings. But for C, now your ring finger's on the A string, that's the thickest string with a finger on it, so you'd strum 5. That's the rule, which I call the rule. So keeping the rule in mind, on our A minor chord, I'm going to hit the bass note, which you now know is the A string. Then I'm going to strum lugubriously down the next strings, stopping before I hit the E string, and then I'm going to pluck E, B, G. And here's another strumming, plucking combo pattern to consider. E minor, back to A minor, D minor, not much room there, A minor, doesn't change on F and E. You can do that if you want, or a combination. You could do a little bit of each. There's 2 patterns to consider. And for fun, to spice it up, you could play the 7 version of all these chords. So A minor 7 is A minor with no ring finger. Lovely. E minor 7, there's lots of ways to play E minor 7. We could play it with just the A string 2nd fret. You could add the B string 3rd fret into that if you want. A minor again. D minor 7 is 1-1-2, including the open D string. A minor 7. F7, here's, well, you can do it one of 2 ways. Big F with no pinky finger. Or if you notice from the D string down, what we have when we do this is 1-2-1-1. If you don't want to play play big F, or if you think that just sounds cooler, which I think that sounds pretty cool. And E7, it's a major chord now, so no ring finger on your E major chord. And now we have, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do like A minor, but I'm not going to just straight play A minor 7. I'm going to... That way you get some motion. You start with the regular chord, then make it a 7, then put it back, or do the inverse. Do whatever strikes your fancy, but just taking a finger off and putting it back on adds quite a bit more to the mix there. And now we've discussed Black Magic Woman, which means my job is done here. Thank you so much for joining me on this Softball Sunday. If you'd like to receive a tab and a playthrough for every single song that I do on YouTube, that'll be on my Patreon page, so check the description. Check the description for a link. I hope that was fun and helpful. See you next time with more stuff. Goodbye.